Welcome back to H3 Weapon Deep Dive. Today is a big one. We're finally going to cover the MP5. And I hear you saying, wait a minute, didn't you already cover the MP5 twice? No! I covered the SP5 pistol, and I covered the MP5K machine pistol. Totally different. Yeah. Yeah, totally different. No, today we are covering the entire MP5 line of full-sized, with stock, fully automatic MP5s. We're going to be covering all the three calibers. Three calibers. The 40 Smith & Wesson, the 10mm, and the 9mm, which is the most common one here. And we're going to be covering all the different variations. It's going to be a long video. The variations spawn here in home SMG rifle SMG. We're going to start with the MP5 10A4. It spawns here. You've got the A4 and the A5 variant here. We've got the MP5 40, that's 40 Smith & Wesson. We've got an A4 and an A5 variant as well. And, of course, we've got the MP5 A1 series, which has the A1, the A2, the A3, the A4, the A5. We got a few to cover. So you're saying, wait a minute, you're going to cover the MP5 SD1s? No! I'll do that in the next video, because this one's already going to be way too long. So, with that in mind, let's get started. Checking them out. We're going to do this in numerical order. I'm going to start with this one, which is basically the prototype. This is the MP5 wood furniture. It's got wood furniture, obviously, on the stock and on the foregrip, and it has got safe, semi, and full auto on the selector switch, and it is that stamped metal style. Moving on, we're going to go with the MP5A1. This is the 9mm version. Again, stamped metal style selector switch with semi and full. No stock at all. And this probably, I'm guessing it's polymer plastic furniture. Moving on to the A2, this again has the stamped metal style selector switch with safe, semi, and full. And it has got a full-sized plastic stock and the familiar triangular foregrip. Moving on to the A3, we've got the same stamped metal safe, semi, and full on the selector switch. And we've got this time a sliding stock, same triangular foregrip. Like so. Onto the A4 varieties. This is the 9mm, so this is your MP5 A4. Now we've got the same solid stocks and triangular foregrip, but you've got a different ambidextrous selector switch with safe, semi, 3-round burst, and full auto. This applies to both the 40mm and the 10mm variety, which are effectively the same, just in different calibers. Moving on to the A5 variant, you've got the safe, semi, 3-round burst, and full auto on the 9mm version with the folding stock, the triangular foregrip, and on the 10mm version and on the 40mm version, you've got a 2-round burst instead of a 3-round burst. Otherwise, the configuration is the same with the collapsible stock. Let's take a look at our magazines. These are the same magazines that will work in the SP5 and the MP5K. We've got a 15-round straight magazine, a 15-round curved magazine, a 30-round straight magazine, a 30-round curved magazine, and a 100-round double drum magazine. Also, we've got the 40 Smith & Wesson and the 10mm varieties. These both take these funky gray 30-round stick magazines in the calibers appropriate to the firearm. Let's take a look at the controls. This is the wood furniture version. It's got the selector switch that has safe, semi, and full by pressing left on the trackpad. It is the same layout as the A1, A2, and A3 varieties. There is indicated on both sides. This is the A5. It is the same selector switch as the A4 and A5. So you've got safe 3-round burst and full auto, safe semi 3-round burst and full auto. And this is also indicated on both sides. Magazine well is up here in the front. There is no magazine release on any variety of the MP5. It's kind of a shortcoming if you ask me. So pressing down on the trackpad will do nothing. Bummer. This is your bolt handle here on the left side. Pull back. You can move it up, rotate it up into the top position, and that will also effectively put it on safe because the bolt handle cannot move forward. You can slap it without touching anything on the controls just by moving your hand down onto the paddle, like so, called the MP5 slap or the H&K slap. You don't need to do that though. So if you want to just operate it straight back, it works just fine. Thank you very much. Let's see what attachments will fit on the MP5. This is the A1 variety. We've got no stock on it. Can you put a stock on it? Yes. So you can take the A1 and turn it into a fixed stock version like the A2. Take that back off again. There we go. Let's see what else we got. Do we have rails? Well, yes and no. We've got no rails on the normal model, but this does have a special MP5 to Picatinny rail adapter in the spawn table that you can get. Let's see what the sights look like over it. Yep, you can barely see over it, but you can see over it. So now I can put a red dot up there, and we get a proper red dot on our MP5. How nice is that? Unfortunately, there's nothing on the bottom of the regular handguard, but we're going to look at handguards in a second because there's so freaking many of them, I can't fit them all on the table. So, can you put a foregrip on the foregrip? Nope, not surprising. Let's see what fits on this barrel. How about a muzzle brake? Yeah, nice. Put our muzzle brake / compensator on there. How about a suppressor? Of course you can put a suppressor on an MP5. How silly of me. How about the rail adapter with the barrel thing? Yes, you can put it on the barrel. How about the barrel extension? Yep, want a longer barrel on the MP5? You can do that, especially if it gives it back to you. And yeah, you got your MP5 with spatula attachment. Spatula City. Let's take a look at our foregrips. There are so many. I got to put them on a separate table. So here's the A1 variety with our triangular polymer foregrip. This is the MP5 4 vented. And let's see what that looks like on there. Ooh, nice. Oh, you can see the barrel right through. Isn't that neat? So let's see if we can take it off of there. It's a little tricky. You got to grab way back here, almost by the magazine. If you grab up here, you'll just be gripping the foregrip and it won't let you pull it off. So grip it way back here like that, and you can click and pull down and pull it off there. Let's move on. This is the MP5 K4 Proto. Will this go on? No, I don't think it'll go on any of these MP5s. I think it only goes on the K. Oh, no. Oh, almost. You could do it. Shove it on there. No? Oh, well, okay, maybe it won't go on any of the MP5Ks, or excuse me, MP5s. Let's try the 4 flashlight. So you want a flashlight on there? Well, you can put it on the foregrip if you want to. Let's see how we can turn that on. There we go. Now we got our flashlight. Pull down. Let's see if I can get it off. There we go. All right, what's this one? The 4 Slimline. Ooh, there you got your slim looking version. I definitely have seen that before. Looks rainbow sexy to me. Let's see what else we got. You want wood? Here's your wood. Here's your 4 wood. Now you got your wood. Where's that prototype-y looking thing? There's your wood. There you go. If you want the style, you can put it on a more modern MP5 if you want to. And lastly, but not leastly, yeah, here's your rails. All right, so you get your foregrip with the rails on bottom, left, and right. Combine that with your MP5 to Picatinny rail adapter. You get all 4 directions, except the front and the back, I suppose. So you can put rail-y stuff everywhere. Let's take a look at our sights. This is the A5 9mm variant, but they all have the same sight setup and the same length and everything. What do we got here? We got a giant front ring and pretty good sized front post. We've got a large V-notch in the rear, so not too shabby. The rear aperture is a drum that spins around. All you got to do is click on it with the trigger, and it'll go from that V to a round aperture, and you can find the front post. You can use that for longer range. I believe these are in 50-meter increments, but honestly, I hate them. I wouldn't bother using them. They really obscure the sight picture seriously, and I don't think you're going to get a lot of mileage out of it. You're better off getting a rail and putting an optic on it and doing it properly. And on to our recoil test. I'm going to start here with the A1 version with no stock. I'm going to do it one-handed, and then I'll do two-handed, then I'll start adding stocks. Put a laser on there just to make my life a little bit easier, but it won't affect the recoil. Here we go. Well, a lot of stuff in the ceiling. Pretty decent first shot, but everything else was off the paper. Moving on to two-handed. Well, we got some on the paper this time. Good first shot. 2s and 3s from there on out, so it did help quite a bit. 2.4 average. Let me get that up close. Yeah, pretty wide horizontally, but the vertical group is actually not too bad. I bet you could pull that down a bit. Look, our second shot got a 6. Hey, not too bad. Moving on to the A5 variant with the collapsible stock out. We're going to use that for our stock out version. This is also 9mm, of course. I'm assuming that they all have the same recoil configuration, all in 9mm. Otherwise, I will be here for the rest of my life testing every single variation. So, anyway, on to the test. Well, good first shot. Good, till about shot 12. Then it looks like it started to drift up to the right here in a nice diagonal pattern, but look, everything is in the black 7 ring, so quite good with that stock out. Thank you very much. Let's try it with the muzzle brake on there. Lots of 10s. Look at that. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Didn't drift off until, and then we came back to 10. Man, we put almost at least half that mag in the 10 ring. That's really impressive. Look at that. So you get your diagonal pattern, but it is much smaller. Man, yep, it certainly helped. Let's try our suppressor. Beautiful. More 10s. Look at all those 10s. 9 average. Ooh, fantastic. Sticking with our A5 variant, let's do our 3-round burst before we move on to the 40 and 10mm version. Let's do 3-round burst one-handed. No good. Nope. Let's try our 3-round burst two-handed. Well, 6.47. It's on the paper. It's a big fat mess, but it's on the paper. So it's a bit of a cheat to pull the trigger that fast with 3-round burst, but that's what you get. 3-round burst with the stock out. Well, that really wandered all over the place, didn't it? Look, it occasionally would reset back to the 10, but in between, blech. So pulling as fast as you can with 3-round burst is not the best way to go. All right, it's a silly test, but let's be thorough. Let's do stock out 3-round burst with the muzzle brake. That wasn't bad at all. 9.5. Actually, that's pretty remarkable. That muzzle brake is really helping, but you can see how the pattern is quite a bit different. It's not that diagonal full auto pattern that we were getting before. It's jumpy pattern. Finally, the 3-round burst stock out with suppressor. Well, lots of 10s. 9.2, good result, but you can definitely feel it jumping around in there. Moving on to the 40 Smith & Wesson. Let's try it with the stock collapse one-handed. Yeah, no surprise there, also into the ceiling. Let's do two-handed. Into the ceiling as well. Let's get serious and fire it properly with the stock out and the foregrip. Well, I like the first batch, but it started to drift after that 6.5 average. Not nearly as good recoil as the 9mm, but that's not surprising. It is a bigger, more powerful round. 6.5 to beat. Let's try our muzzle brake. Quite a bit better, quite a bit better. We got an 8. Very nice. Look at that. Nice and controllable pattern. Moving on to the suppressor. Not bad, not bad. 8.23. Definitely an improvement over no suppressor at all. And a nice little controllable group. 3-round burst too much for you? Well, don't worry. We got you covered. We got a 2-round burst on the 40 Smith & Wesson. Let's see what we get out of that. Pretty darn jumpy. It was returning back to 10 if I gave it just a little time, even though I wasn't trying to. I was trying to pull it as fast as I could, but the numbers are pretty good, 8.17. But as you can see, those second rounds were not in the same place as the first round. Let's try 2-round with the muzzle brake. Weird jumpy pattern. Again, lots of 10s, good 9s too. 8.7, good numbers, but boingy, 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 boingy. And finally, the suppressor. Well, lots of 10s, 8.61, good numbers, but the same as the muzzle brake, basically. Just bouncy, 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 bouncy. Moving on to the 10mm. Let's see what we can do. Well, no surprise there. One hand is in the ceiling. Can we control it with 2 hands? Nope. Can we control it with 3 hands? Well, how about stock and foregrip? Big drift there. 6.4. Definitely popped up quite a bit compared to the 9mm versions. Let's try the muzzle brake. Looking good. Looking good. 2 10s right off the bat. Yeah, pretty steady recoil there. 8.33. That's a good pattern. Everything in the black. Nice. And onto our suppressor. 6.53. Not good numbers. It stayed controllable though. But look at that. That second round's pretty good. Let's try our 2-round burst. Really jumpy with that 2-round burst. What's our number? 7.8. Yeah, really, really jumpy. Can the muzzle brake tame the 2-round burst? Still pretty jumpy, but we got a 9 average. Between jumps, we were hitting 10s there, so something to be said. Finally, the suppressor, will it reset us to 10? No. Got a couple 10s in there, but it was not enough recoil reduction to keep resetting us back to 10 the way the muzzle brake was. This was quite a bit jumpier. There you have it, the MP5 family that isn't the SP5 or MP5K or MP5SD. In 9mm, 40 Smith & Wesson, and 10mm. Till next time, I will see ya. Oh, 100-round drum. Let's do some lefty. Ugh. Bye-bye.